Hi everyone, welcome back to Mindful Minutes with Breathe and Talk, the podcast where we take a deep dive into the issues that really matter in today's world. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to share something special with you. As many of you know, I've been going by the name Jenny, which is actually a pseudonym, but I've decided to embrace a new chapter in my life and will be using my given name, Precious. Still not my government name though, but this is mine and I can identify with it. So from here on out, you can call me Precious. Same voice, same passion, just a new name. Thank you all for your support as I make this transition.
And hey everyone, I'm Popsy, your new co-host here on Mindful Minutes with Breathe and Talk. I'm really excited to join Precious and bring you even more engaging and insightful conversations. Together, we're going to explore some amazing topics, and I can't wait to connect with all of you.
Definitely. We're thrilled to have Popsy on board, and we've got some incredible episodes lined up for you. So let's get started. Today, we're tackling a topic that has become increasingly relevant in our hyper-connected, yet strangely disconnected society. So our topic is, with rights come responsibilities. It seems like everyone's focused on their rights these days, but the idea of responsibility, well, that's taking a backseat.
Absolutely, Precious. We've all been there, right? Whether it's waiting for someone to vacate the bathroom or dealing with a packed bus where people are more interested in their screens than in the people around them, the signs are everywhere. And that's exactly what we're discussing today. The problems, the causes, and of course, the way forward.
So let's dive right into it. Popsy, you mentioned something that happened to you recently, right?
Yeah, let's start with that. So I rent out rooms in Queenstown, and I've noticed something interesting, or should I say frustrating, about the younger guys who stay there. Picture this. They head to the bathroom, and instead of taking care of business quickly, they bring their devices with them. Phones, tablets, sometimes even laptops. They end up spending ages in there, completely unaware, or maybe just unconcerned that someone else might need to use the bathroom.
Oh, I can totally imagine how annoying that must be. It's like they're so wrapped up in their own world that they forget there's a whole universe beyond the bathroom door. It's a small thing, but it's a perfect example of people focusing on their rights, like their right to privacy or personal space, without thinking about the responsibility they have to others.
Exactly. It's as if the idea that someone else might need the bathroom just doesn't occur to them. It's that mindset of, I have the right to be comfortable, without considering, I also have the responsibility to make sure I'm not inconveniencing someone else.
That's a great point, Popsy. And it's not just about bathrooms, right? This sort of behavior shows up everywhere, even on public transportation. Let me tell you about something that happened to me a few weeks ago. I was on a packed bus, and the driver asked very politely, but maybe a bit too quietly, for people standing in the aisle to move toward the back of the bus to make room for others. Not a single person budged. They were all glued to their devices, oblivious to what was going on around them.
And that's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Drivers need passengers to follow instructions so they can safely accommodate everyone. But if people aren't paying attention or don't care enough to respond, what can the driver do?
Exactly. The driver didn't want to shout or be too assertive, probably because these days anything that comes across as too forceful can lead to complaints. And that's part of the problem. We live in a time when people are quick to assert their rights, like the right to a quiet bus ride without recognizing their responsibilities, like the responsibility to make space for others or listen to the driver's instructions.
So, Let's break this down. Why is this happening? Why are people so focused on their own rights but not their responsibilities?
Well, for one thing, I think technology plays a huge role. Everyone's so engrossed in their screens that they've become almost oblivious to the world around them. They're more connected to what's happening online than to the real life people standing next to them.
True. And I think there's also a cultural shift at play. We've done a great job educating people about their rights, civil rights, human rights, personal rights, and that's important. But we've kind of dropped the ball when it comes to teaching people about the responsibilities that come with those rights. It's a two-way street, but we've only been driving on one side of the road.
Absolutely, Popsy. It's almost as if the pendulum has swung too far in the direction of individualism, where personal freedom is prioritized over communal responsibility. And that's leading to situations like the ones we've described. People who are so wrapped up in their own rights that they forget their actions affect everyone around them.
So what's the way forward? How do we get back to a place where people understand that with rights come responsibilities?
I think it starts with awareness. We need to be more mindful, there's that word again, of how our actions impact others. For example, if you're using a shared space like a bathroom in a rented home, be considerate. Don't take more time than you need, especially if you know others are waiting.
And on public transportation, put the phone down every once in a while. Listen to the announcements. Be aware of what's happening around you. If someone asks you to move to the back of the bus, do it. It's not just about your comfort. It's about making sure everyone can get where they need to go.
It's also important to reframe how we think about these situations. Instead of seeing it as a sacrifice, like giving up your spot on the bus or cutting your bathroom time short, think of it as a way to contribute to the well-being of your community. It's a small act of kindness that makes a big difference.
That's such a good point, Precious. And I think we also need to encourage this kind of thinking in the next generation. Schools, parents, and communities should teach not just the importance of rights, but also the value of responsibility. Kids need to learn that being part of a society means sometimes putting others' needs before your own.
Definitely. And let's not forget, responsibilities don't just protect others, they protect us too. When everyone plays their part, the world works better for everyone.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Mindful Minutes. Remember, rights and responsibilities go hand in hand. When we all take responsibility for our actions, we make the world a better place for ourselves and for everyone around us. Thank you. And then please like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, drop your comments under this post. We need your feedback, suggestions, and opinions. That's definitely part of the responsibility we are talking about.
Yup, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to join us next time for another deep dive into the issues that matter. We will be talking about self-love, how and where we lost it. It is going to be an eye-opening conversation, and we will really appreciate your engagement. Until then, stay mindful.